Joining me now to talk about what her country needs right now, the Ukrainian ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova. Ambassador Markarova, thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show.
Thank you very much, and thank you for spreading the truth about the war.
So we've talked a lot this morning, and I'm sure you've been in on discussions at the highest levels about the need that President Zelensky has been talking about a no-fly zone. But whether it's from President Biden saying no to a no-fly zone, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson in an op-ed in the New York Times saying no to a no-fly zone, the head of NATO also saying no to a no-fly zone. Make the case to the American people why that is essential for Ukraine.
Well, look, Ukraine is a peaceful country. We never attacked anyone. We never were a threat to Russia, unless, of course, being peaceful, democratic country is a threat. We built our country, and we always lived in peace with everyone. Russia attacked us in 2014. Russia attacked us now. And for 11 days now, courageous Ukrainians are fighting, defending our homes. And it's brutal. It's a full-fledged war. The scenes that you see on your TV screens from Ukraine and everything that happens on the ground in many major cities, everywhere, in villages, it's something from the World War II imagery, something that Nazi did to Ukraine in 1939 and 1945. And this is what Russians are doing now, killing kids, killing people, shelling at hospitals. Now, Ukraine is not a small country. And in 1994, we used to have the third largest nuclear arsenal. And we voluntarily decided to give it up, to denuclearize ourselves because we believe in peace. And we had Russia and the US and Great Britain as three countries that gave us assurances that we will never be attacked by anyone. And Russia is the country that signed this, attacked us. So again, we will not stop. We will not fall like many people predicted. We will fight for every inch of our territory because it's our home. We don't have anywhere to go. And as we are pretty successful on the ground, because it's not just the armed forces, it's everyone who's fighting, we now see that Putin retreated and his war criminals retreated to tactics of simply bombing us from the sky, indiscreetly, everywhere. So that's where we need the support. So whether it's a no-fly zone, whether it's massive supply of the anti-air defense, whether it's airplanes, we need all of that. And I think the world needs that, because for Putin, it's not about Ukraine only. If he's able to destroy a country of 40 million peaceful people in the center of Europe, who's next? You know, if he can attack nuclear stations in Ukraine, like he did recently, and only by miracle, we put down the fire there, and there was no nuclear accident at the largest European nuclear power plant, 6 times more than Chernobyl, 10 times more in capacity. Then what will stop him from doing it to any other nuclear station or that one, which still his thugs control, not the responsible engineers? I mean, they are under threat there as well. So we are talking about a threat to anyone who believes in democratic values, to threat to any free people on the planet.
Madam Ambassador, that actually dovetails nicely with the next question I was going to ask you, which is your message to NATO countries, to the Baltic states, Moldova, Poland, about what this war on Ukraine means for them. Do you believe that Vladimir Putin would not stop at Ukraine?
Jonathan, it's not only me. I think all of our neighbors know it. That's why it's not only the United States. The support from the United States have been great. And I would like to thank all American people, to the president, to Congress on a bipartisan basis, but to American people also for this support. But we have the same support from all the countries around us because they know Putin will not stop in Ukraine. And they know that what he has in mind is yet another great war. And if we analyze the previous great wars, all of them could have been stopped locally, and they were not. And then it was a tragic of a global scale. So we all together have to act and stop Putin now.
President Zelensky put out a video that we saw on Twitter, and we've shown a bit of it this morning, where he, again, makes the case for a no-fly zone or at a minimum air materiel to help protect Ukraine. And he says, if you at least do not give us aircraft for us to be able to defend ourselves, there can be only one conclusion. You also want us to be slowly killed. This is also the responsibility of the world's politicians, Western leaders, today and forever. This is what the president is talking about, what President Zelensky is talking about, is what you've been talking about since you've been on the show, that this war on your country is bigger than what the war on your country, that this is a war for democracy versus autocracy. Am I viewing this correctly?
Absolutely, absolutely. Ukraine did nothing to provoke this. Ukraine was never a threat to Russia. Even after Russia grabbed Crimea illegally in 2014 and some parts of Donetsk and Lugansk Oblast, even though we had all legal rights to take them back, we never tried it. We never used anything but diplomacy to restore our territorial integrity. So this is totally unprovoked, brutal war by Russian criminal forces in Ukraine, where they are suffering losses. I mean, we have more than 11,000 Russians killed already in Ukraine. They are hiding this information from their people. 11,000. It's almost the same. It was 15,000 that was killed during the Soviet invasion in Afghanistan during 10 years. It's 11,000 during 11 days only, 10 days actually, because it's the yesterday's information. Because we are defending our homes.
Madam Ambassador, you just said 11,000 Russian fatalities. Could you tell us about the casualties and fatalities of Ukrainians as a result of this war?
Well, I don't have the exact numbers. Again, you have to understand it's a full-fledged war. So while the army is reporting on the fatalities of the enemy because they record it when they are there and they do it, and we have a lot of Russians who surrender also. We have quite a number in captivity, but our losses are also huge because they are shelling the residential areas, and they are not even allowing our firefighters or anyone to come close. Like yesterday or today, for example, in the north of Kiev, the suburbs that are brutally killed by and bombed, every time we're trying to evacuate people, they are shooting at civilians trying to flee the most dangerous zones. We saw the same in Mariupol, where we agreed to have the humanitarian corridor, and Russians again did not allow that to happen. Started shelling Mariupol.
Madam Ambassador, we sadly are running out of time, and I really appreciate your being here. You were a guest of President Biden's at the State of the Union address. And probably the only times that he got bipartisan standing ovations was when he talked about Ukraine. There we're seeing on the screen a sustained standing ovation. What did it mean to you to have that recognition at such a big moment in the United States, the President's State of the Union address?
It was an honor to be there and actually accept these ovations for Ukrainian people. It's for our brave president, our armed forces, and the ordinary people of Ukraine, all 40 million of us who are fighting together for our country today, and we will not stop, we will not surrender, and we really hope that the whole world will act together with us.
Ambassador Oksana Markarova from Ukraine, an honor. Thank you so much for coming to the Sunday show. My heart goes out to you and the Ukrainian people. Thank you very much for coming to the Sunday show.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much. And thank you to all American people.